Okay, season 2, episode 15. My friends, I never want to come on and poo-poo or poop on anybody's parade. You know what I mean? That's the last thing I want to do. And if you're having an amazing time watching Dandadan, like, hey, more power to you. But I just have to say this. This season of Dandadan is just not, for me, hitting the same level as last season. And I know I was talking to a couple of you guys in the comments, so like maybe it's Jiji. I don't like Jiji. I think he's just a whatever character. It could be that for sure, but it's just this storyline. Like even removing Jiji, the family, the family and the worm, and don't get me wrong, the fight between Jiji or whatever his ghost form is, but the fight between Okarun and Jiji Elite. Don't get me wrong, it's an awesome fight. But when I think about anime, I just don't think about the fight scenes. And I know that sounds silly, but like a lot of times, like people are really high on shows like To Be Hero, which I'm also watching. But I think a lot of time it's because the fight is like really cool. But what's around it though sometimes ends up being like boring or doo-doo. I don't think we're to that level here, but when I think of last season, right, and I think of Ira and her elite emotional, like I cried. Like it was such an emotional story with Ira and the ghost that ended up possessing her, and the lady who was using loan sharks, and her daughter got taken away, and it was just next level writing. And to go from Ira's story and transition into Jiji, it's just not hitting for me. And the episode, like again, it's not bad. I definitely want to communicate that it's bad. I don't think it's bad. It's just not to the same degree, right? It feel like we took, and again, I really feel like it's just this specific story arc with Jiji and his transformation, and with the earthworm, and with the family, the weird family of the protectors. And then now at the end of this episode, there's a bigger thing happening, that maybe the worm was the thing, and then now the volcano exploded, and well, how are we gonna go get Jiji and Okarun out? And I do love that ISA used science to defeat the worm. I thought that was like top tier. Like, okay, science class, we see you. And that was because of Jiji, her learning that from Jiji when they were kids. And I do like the flashback. There's just something, I don't know. I just can't put my finger on it. But, last season, like I said, we had Ira's elite story. We even had the story with the science class dummy, and his girl that was happening. That was so silly. And then Turbo Granny's story with ISA discovering her powers, and then with Ken discovering his powers, and then his balls missing during the season and having to go get his balls back. And then just the awesome ending of the season, although it did transition, and Jiji was transitioning in at the end of last season. I don't know. It's just like I was at a high over here, and I don't know. I'm just not enjoying it as much as I want to be like, oh my god, and foam me at the mouth, like, oh my god, did you guys see the earthworm? Blah, 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 blah. But I'm just not feeling it. And it struggles, but I want to be very transparent. And I don't want to just glaze an anime. And I don't want to just be overly positive just to, appease, people who are just like, there's those folks out there that like they'll only hear the good about a show, and like if you critique anything at all, then it's like I'm not trying to be negative. I just think that right now we're operating like, yeah, the show's like, it's fine. Like it's like a 6 out of 10. It's fine. It still looks amazing. The fights are incredible. It still looks awesome. But just this arc, I'm just not feeling it. So I'm ready for it to be over. I'm ready for them to get done with the worm and the stupid family and Jiji, and let's move on to the next arc. Let's bring the aliens who want to probe them back in. They were hilarious. Let's bring them back in. Maybe we explore more of Turbo Granny's story, you know. I don't know. I do want to indicate though, and I can tell when people don't make it to this part of the video based on the comments, but I do want to really give a shout out though, because I love how Turbo Granny was stuck in the sticky stuff. I love how ISA forgot about her. I love how Okarun went to go save her, and she was like, "Don't get stuck, don't get stuck, don't get stuck, don't get." I did laugh at that. She's like, "Don't get stuck," and he gets stuck anyways, face down. I thought that was just hilarious. And then they're like, ISA, help us! Don't let us beat out of here forever. I love that. I thought that was really funny. And again, just, you know, double shout out to the fight scene. The fight scene was just awesome. It's really, really well animated. And when Okarun went, he was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 20, 20, 20, blah, 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 blah. Like that was really, really cool too. Especially because, you know, Jiji was like, "Oh, you're never gonna get out of the cursed house," and he's like, "We'll see about that." I thought that was just super, super dope. So that was elite. So if I think about the things I enjoyed about this episode, which was the Turbo Granny scene, although it was small, and then I think about the fight scene between Okarun and Jiji, and then I think about what I didn't like: the worm, the family, lighting the house on fire, little earthquake, little ending, the big monologue between Okarun and it wasn't even a big monologue, but the, you know, the back and forth between Momo and Ken and getting her out and stuff. Maybe it's a 7. We'll land it at a 7. It's a 7 out of 10. But when I think about last season, it was operating at like 9 out of 10, like amazing levels. And I just feel like we've just taken a little dip, and I think I have to blame Jiji and the story arc, and they're one and the same. All right, my friends, I'll see you guys next week though for episode number 16. I'll see you guys next week for episode number 16 and or episode number 4 of season 2. One of the two. All right, friends, I'll see you guys then. Peace.